Is it?
All right. We are absolutely recording. Hi, Chris. We're on record.
Hi, Nikki. Welcome.
Welcome, everybody.
This is, you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I just want to welcome you all to this very special Saturday morning call. I don't know how many of you are under strict shelter laws. We are in unprecedented times, certainly. And in California, we are really asked to not leave our homes at all unless we are going grocery shopping, going to the pharmacy, getting gas, and maybe going to the bank. I think that was it. And you can go to restaurants for takeout food. So a lot of us are hunkering down in homes all day long. And so both Chris and I feel like this is a great opportunity for us to still be with the people we care about and the people we love, because we can see you. How cool is that? We can see you. So Chris, I'm going to let you share some things that we've been thinking this morning. A lot of this call will probably be an interactive call, I'm hoping. So
yeah,
what would you like to say, Chris? And
so most of you probably saw our Facebook post live yesterday, and we're kind of looking at this as a series, but we'll see. Right now, this is a series of 2, and it is called.
I love series of 2.
Because. Okay, because unprecedented times demand unprecedented courage. And so to be clear on why we called it that is a lot of people are and I don't blame them, they're in a state of reaction because it is unprecedented. And not only is it unprecedented, obviously we've never had anything like this on the planet. Well, that's arguable. In our lifetime, let's say that. But there's a lot of uncertainty. We don't know what's coming around the corner, right? And what we really want to focus on is what we can control and where we can take this. In other words, we don't want to be a victim of circumstance. We don't want to say, oh my God, I can't do anything. What we want to do is be clear on what we can do and how we can take advantage of this time to maybe create some shifts in our life, but certainly to bring value to others. And one of our neighbors came by. You ready to put him up to talk?
Oh, yeah, I can do that. Hang on one second.
One of our neighbors came by.
Us a little cool video.
Yeah, and we left it. We filmed him yesterday, and here's what he had to say, and we kind of like it. So
hang on one second. I'm going to share my screen. Here we go.
In these crazy times that we're in with the coronavirus, let's take care of ourselves and each other. Let's not go to the lowest common denominator and get paranoid. Let's do our due diligence, take the precautions we need to take care of ourselves and those of us around us. Right now, more than ever before, we're all more dependent on each other than we ever have been. We have an enemy in coronavirus that is faceless, that is raceless, sexless, non-denominational, and it's an enemy that we all agree we want to beat. We want to beat, and we're going to beat them. All right? So in this time when people are going to move on, the economy is going to be in shambles for who knows how long, there is a green light on the other side of this red light that we're in right now. And I believe that green light is going to be built on the values that we can enact right now. Values of fairness, kindness, accountability, resilience, respect, courage. If we practice those things right now, when we get out of this virus, this time might be the one time that brings us all together and unifies us like we have not been in a long time. So yes, let's see if we can make some lemonade out of this lemon that we're in the middle of. Turn a red light into a green light. Just keep living.
So I hope you all enjoyed that. Really, we thought he said that pretty concisely. And what I want to just open up with today, I talked a little bit about it yesterday, is those values that he mentioned. I think Nikki's going to review some of them, but I want to talk about courage. And my definition of courage, I read this the other day, I liked it, is not letting other people know that you're scared shitless. Excuse my French.
And you know that I'm the, I took that to a whole other place, was letting people know you're scared shitless and moving ahead anyway. Being in the vulnerability, which is what Brene Brown calls vulnerability, is in fact courage. It's stepping into the unknown where you don't know the results. And that's what we're doing right now. We are stepping into the unknown without really knowing exactly. I think Matthew McConaughey is right when he says we're going to hit the green light, but we don't know what the streets are going to look like on the other side. We don't know what we're coming into. And I really love this whole idea of this time, this next 30, 60, 90 days can be the time that we actually are in the process of creating miracles.
Yeah, great. So kind of wrapping it up before I hand it over to Nikki. It's interesting. I ran across this term in my own notes the other day. It was called mortality motivation. Mortality motivation. And just this morning, it reminded me of in the old Westerns, and I think it's before just about everybody's time here, because I'm a little bit older, but in the 50s, there was this kind of cheeky thing that would be in the old Westerns, is that somebody was dying. They wanted their partner to remove their boots, take their boots off. And the old adage was, don't die with your boots on.
Wait,
Okay.
did the other people take their boots off? Oh, I totally didn't get that.
Yeah. So take my boots off, and then
Wait, the
anybody
person,
else remember that in
did
the
the
movie?
person who was dying have their boots taken off?
Yes.
Okay, I asked it. Okay. Got it back and forth. I thought the first time the dead person had no boots. Then I thought the friends had no boots. Now I understand the dying boot. So explain that more to us, because I don't remember these either.
So we are quarantined with our partners for the next 90 days. So we better have clarity, okay?
And laugh a lot.
But I'm going to move on.
Wait, just tell that one more. I don't really understand.
It was just a thing that people did not want to die with their boots on. So as they're dying, they'd ask their partner to remove their boots.
I guess what I don't understand is, why don't you want your boots on? Don't you want to?
So I'm going to go to the next part of this. I'm going to say.
Answer me with somebody else. I literally don't get it.
Okay, but it's okay. We got to keep moving. We're going to move on.
So you won't tell us why?
I'm going to explain it in different words. Wayne Dyer used to say, and this is kind of the same thing, Nikki, is don't die with your songs still in you. Okay? Now, my mortality motivation might be a little bit of extreme, but what I'm saying is, here's another saying, carpe diem, seize the day, right? So we're in unprecedented times, and I'm going to ask you all if you've got the courage to step up to a new level of shift. And, you know, we all make commitments. We've made commitments to our business. We make commitments to our family, and sometimes we don't follow through on our commitments. And the reason, that used to bother me. And by the way, I wouldn't sign up for that class of having people that don't follow through with their commitments, not, you know, to be disappointed because they don't follow through, especially in our business, because guess what it is? There's a word for it. It's called normal, right? And it's normal because, and some of you have a little bit more exposure to this theory because I've talked about it before, that we all have a default commitment. And it's something that we've kind of carried with us. And one could use the word baggage. I don't like that word. I like the word maybe personal programming, actually. That's what it is. It's just the way we're programmed. My default commitment, I don't need this stuff. I don't need this stuff. And I can take that back all the way to, I remember, to high school, okay? Somewhere in my personal programming, and it's really personal, guys, because guess what? None of us had the same programming, because none of us had the same situation in life. None of us had the same parents. None of us had the same siblings. All of our programming is a little bit different, but we carry stuff with us. And this is what I'm clear, and I encourage you that if this is a new concept, spend some time thinking about it, because it will stop you every time. It's just your program. It's not, you're not good enough. You know, we're all good enough. It's just that you are you, and the world needs you to show up. But sometimes we let this programming stop us from showing up. We put the armor on instead of being authentic. So find out what your commitment is. Find out what your default commitment is. Again, I know what mine is. I don't need this stuff. And you know, it raised its face the other day. I was with my coach. We were on a coaching call, and she said, maybe you should take this time. She's doing the same thing. Seize the day. Seize this time that we're all at home. We're with our family. There's a lot we can do with this. It's quiet. We're not traveling. There's such an opportunity. And she said, maybe you could up-level your technology skills. And man, you should have seen me backpedaling with all the words I could come up with. Well, that's not really important to me. I'm not really, I'm not wired that way. She was laughing by the time I got done with my soliloquy. I went, that's not going to work for me, because it was all related to my default commitment. I don't need that stuff, which is not true. Okay, so that's the kind of what I wanted to say is be aware, because this is an opportunity. You're in your house to practice, step up with some courage, even though it's scary, and we have an opportunity to change a lot of lives. But it's going to take some certain things. You're going to work on the values. Why don't you take it from there?
Yeah, maybe you can either shut that door or tell Skipper to stop it. He's trying to get in on he's horning in on our event here today. So I want to talk about a couple things. Number one, it came to me this morning, and I was thinking about people that are not, two things, people that don't have a home-based business to create income for themselves. And in that context, there are people that are doing home-based business that are like Chris and I, that really are not going to have to worry financially. Right now, our month is bigger than normal at this point, so we are actually affecting more customers on our team than normally. But there may come a point where people are losing their jobs, the money's a crunch, maybe they'll cancel. I don't know. But in either case, Chris and I are sitting in a really great place, and we are incredibly appreciative for that place. And over the years, we've heard the stories over and over again about the 4 Ds that relate to Plan B. And the 4 Ds being, is someone in your family, things are well financially, things are going well, but your partner or your significant other dies, and you're left alone having to do everything and maybe not financially prepared for that. And at that point, I think 53% of widows are 70%. Oh, my number's wrong. I used to know this number, but a very significant percentage of women become widows at 53 or younger. And Carrie, you might know that answer because you were involved in putting those seminars on with me for a time. So there's death and there's divorce. We all know that 50% of the people in this country get divorced. And then what happens to families financially? The third one is debt, which is the thing that often causes divorce, is that financial struggle for people and in times of difficulty. And now they're even more difficult because the financial loss is so great. And then the fourth one is debt, divorce, disability or disease, where maybe everything's fine, but you're a massage therapist and you break your hand and you can't do your work anymore. Like, it's going to go away in 6 weeks, your hand will be fine, but during that time, and so,
or a virus comes into your country, or
God forbid a virus comes into your country and changes everything, which seems like an overnight. And so with those 4 things is like, there is the 4th D, which is the positive one, is to be able to dream either again or now. And we can do that by having a plan B. So I hope that what I'm going to say now is okay with the people whose names I'm going to use. I'm hoping, because I didn't check ahead of time. But, you know, I was thinking about Heidi this morning as a hairdresser. She had already decided before the salons closed down that it wasn't responsible for her to go anymore. That's a huge loss of income for Heidi. Hairdressers all over the country, boom, no income. Heidi, though, is really smart. And she had a plan B all this time that she can continue building and growing. I think about Noel. Now, I don't know if your shop is completely closing down, Noel, but estheticians not being able to have people come in anymore. Then I thought of Julia Pell, who works as a physical therapist in a pool with children. What the heck? People are not going to bring their kids for that. So there are so many of us within this industry on this phone call today that are being personally affected by this. So my heart started to think it's already touched my close friends in the Juice Plus family, but they all have Plan Bs. What about everybody out there that doesn't have that Plan B? So it's just a thought that I had this morning of our gratitude, and then not so much our fear, but our concern for how we can be of service, how we can add value to others' lives in these next 90 days, and how we choose to do that is going to change what 90 days looks like from now for us, for you, and the people whose lives we touch.
When the light goes green.
When the light goes green. Yeah, that was great. So, and I just want to, I don't know if you wrote down the 5 things that Matthew McConaughey said, but he talked about fairness. And so if I just stop and say, is it fair when you're around the house and feeling grumpy to take it out on your partner? Where's the fairness in that? Where's the justice? Where's the fairness in any of what's going on right now? And yet in our best of worlds, we still need to maintain that value of fairness. And then how does it relate, again, personally, but how does it relate to your business? Is it fair or kind or respectful of you to not share what we have? Is it fair, kind, or respectful when we share, because we have that 5th quality or 6th quality of courage? And the final piece, of course, is resilience and accountability. Well, accountability is something I'm going to talk about in a second. But yeah.
Because I see some faces that weren't on the call yesterday, I just want to let you know that what we're using, what we're sending out to people is the 4 or 5, depending on how we look at it. I got to check it out. Several studies.
I can't know the number. I don't know the number either.
On the research, the actual, gold standard research that's done on Juice Plus and the immune system. And then I have a summary. So I'm sending out both a summary on all the things that it does for people. And then 4 or 5 of the actual studies on immune system. And just say, I'm letting people know, and I'm going to do it differently today. I'm going to take it to a voice message followed by this. But if you don't have those, they're on Turn Up the Heat Boxer. I put them both on Turn Up the Heat Boxer yesterday. So you can download them and you can adjust it however you want. But it's just, I believe the science speaks pretty loud. So why not send that out to people as you're about to call them or call them and say, I'd like to send this.
One of the things that you can really do with your team is to encourage them, if they want to share this message of hope and it's so much more than hope. We actually have the manifestation to create healthier immune systems. Are we saying that we are going to cure the virus? No. Are we going to claim that we are going to prevent the virus? No. But we do know that the stronger your immune system is, the less likely you are to get anything. What's the quote that Dr. Du Bois, do you know that quote by heart? You know me, I don't.
Well, the one quote is that whole food nutrition is the only proven path to prevention. But I think you're talking about the one that we are the only product on the planet that can say we can do these things.
Right. And he says we are the only product, including pharmaceuticals. They cannot say what we can say about those 10 or 12 different areas that Juice Plus affects. One of them, of course, which we know is the immune system.
And cardiovascular system and periodontals.
So what I started to say is to really encourage your team to stay connected, because I am hearing from people that aren't regularly connected. Please check Voxer, both Broadcast Voxer and Turn Up the Heat. I know one of you is going to say, where do I find the studies that you're sending out? It's on Broadcast Voxer right now. It's about 10 messages up from the bottom. And if you do this with your finger over and over and over again, it will eventually get to messages 50 and 100 before. Like, you can find it. Just be patient. And Chris is, like you said, has got all of those on there. I also, on Turn Up the Heat Facebook, I actually posted the exact letter with the link to a really short 2-minute video that I sent to my 93 customers. I just sent them all this letter. It's on Turn Up the Heat Facebook group. What I can ask you to do is just to pay attention and to encourage your partners to do the same, because as the days move on, I know we're going to be having more and more positive news, not the virus called CNN. We've gotten over that virus. It took us a few days, a little bit of nauseousness involved, some headache, but we got rid of the CNN virus. So we are posting things that people can do that are positive. Also, just so you know, in terms of connection, on Live Healthy, Be Happy, which has been in the past our customer support group on Facebook. If you want to add people that you know and care about and love to that group who are not yet on Juice Plus, so they can see who we are, what we're about, what our community about, go forth and do it. And that page is only for positive encouragement and things that if people read, they're going to smile, feel better, and learn more, including recipes. So anyway, so I just wanted to say that about staying in connection. And the last two that Matthew McConaughey talked about was accountability and resilience. We're going to see who's the most resilient when the green light goes, because those people are going to be in vehicles that are powered up and moving smoothly. And you have this 90 days to really work on the areas that can propel you in those 90 days. And then accountability. If you're the person that up until now says, I wished I had built my business bigger. I wished I had not been so afraid. I wished I had reached out to more people. I wished I had done more follow-up. I wished I had had more conversations. Whatever that is, get in a buddy who will keep you accountable to yourself, to what you commit to over the next 90 days. Because what Chris talked about in terms of his coach saying to him, what are you going to up level? You know, you are, for a lot of us, you are not at that 8-hour-a-day job. For many of us, and for those that still are, you may find in 2 weeks that you're not at that 8-hour-a-day job, or you know other people that aren't, and they're available to talk. I got to tell you, both my daughters are calling me like 5 times a day because they're bored. They're not really bored, but they want connection. Neither of my girls are bored. They got great projects going on, but because of connection. So people are, and when I'm calling, instead of them not picking up, they're picking up. How many of you have experienced people picking up? It's
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah.
So, all right. So what I want to talk in, what are you going to up level? We're getting toward the end of this call.
Yeah.
And at the end of this call, which should be in the next 4 to 6 minutes max, we're going to do a phone blitz. So we'll turn the recording off and we are going to stay on, and we will help you create some verbiage if you need some help with that. But where are you going to up level? How are you going to up level? First area, personal growth. How are you going to up level your personal growth? Are you going to all of a sudden maybe begin meditation? You've never done it before because you say you can't do it. No one can do it. If you're saying you can't do it, you are not unique. There's nobody that doesn't have, as Thich Nhat Hanh says, there are 10,000 clouds in the sky that will go by you. Same as your thoughts. And so when a thought pops up from what you're meditating on, you get to say, that's fascinating. I'm now thinking about belly button lint. Where did that come from? And then you move on to your breath or whatever it is that you're meditating on. So it could be meditation. It could be journaling for the first time in your life. It could be reading 10 to 15 minutes a day, every day, from a personal growth book. And let me just finish this thought if I can. And maybe you're going to commit to every day sharing on Facebook or Voxer the aha moment you had when you meditated, when you journaled, when you read, one of those 3 things or all 3 things. Maybe you're going to commit to a miracle morning now and you never did it before. What were you going to say?
Well, that was one of the things I was going to say. So good. Miracle morning.
So
Win the morning, but I have something else. My
Okay.
personal experience. One is early in this situation where we were staying close to home before it became mandatory. I just took all the people that were in my mind that I had that thought, oh, I should call him, or I should call her, I should call him. I said, you know what? I'm going to clear all those. And I just started calling people. 100% of them answered the phone. And it was fantastic. It took me 3 days. But it was a fantastic experience because I caught up, I shared some of the immune system stuff, and it was just a clearing. And the other thing, and I know you all will be so excited about this, is, you know, it's kind of a joke that I've been saying for 15 years that I need to do more yoga. And so far, the only thing I've stretched out is my mouth. Well, guess what? I'm doing yoga. I'm doing yoga and I'm loving it.
Yeah,
Kirsten.
we've been doing it online together.
Yeah.
And we've also been doing aerobics every
Yeah.
3 days a week online and having a ball. It's been, if you could see Chris doing the aerobics class with me, oh my God, you guys would, I just want a video. You can let me. It's hilarious and fun. And so we are really with this. Hang on one second. Somebody is not muted. So if you guys would mute yourself.
Sure.
So let me get back to this. So number one, personal growth. How are you going to up level it? And write it down and just take advantage of it for the next 30 days. Is it meditating? Is it journaling? Is it reading? Is it doing a miracle morning? And then maybe it's posting something on Facebook or getting a message out on Voxer. One of the things I also can't stress enough, if you're finding something that's working for you in any way in your life, why not share it on our Turn Up the Heat Voxer? Tell us what you're doing that's working, especially if you have great verbiage. Patty, I'm going to ask you for some help here. Great verbiage in inviting people to either look at our business or look at our products. I went through quickly this morning just to see the cha-chings. How many of you know about our incentives that we're doing right now with cha-chings? Every time you have a conversation about the business, just about the business. Hey, Chris, I'm doing something. I have no idea if you'd like to do it, but I just would love you to see what our mission is about. And it's a really great way to create a plan B for yourself. And I know we've talked about that in the past. Are you open? That's it. Anything.
Is it one of those deals?
Yes.
Okay, no thanks.
And if they say,
That's a conversation.
that's a conversation. I'm not talking to you about an exploration call. It's in opening up the possibility, the door to them joining and looking at what we're doing is a cha-ching. Put it out there on our Facebook Turn Up the Heat group. So far, we've had Carrie, Heidi, Taryn, Patty, Holly, and myself post cha-chings. Patty is in the lead with 6 conversations so far on just,
she's up 9.
9. I didn't catch them this morning. I counted up 6. I blew it. Okay. And if you do a cha-ching where you open up the conversation and then you say to them, are you open for a call with my mentors? And we get on an exploration call, post a second cha-ching because we're giving some incentives away for these, right? And that means you've got 2 of them. And by the way, what we're going to do with this, we said on May 1st, we would have a May Day party. But I realized that on May 1st in the evening, we have tickets to a really cool event. So with Heidi, as a matter of fact. And so unless it gets canceled, which I don't know what might happen. Wait, Heidi, what?
It's already canceled.
All right, so never mind. We're still on May 1st.
1st.
May 1st. Yay, May 1st, May Day party. Remember, it's on Zoom. But here are some of the caveats. You must bring your own booze. You must bring your own hors d'oeuvres. And we're hoping that somebody's going to supply some great dance music because we are going to do it together May 1st on Zoom, having a party. May Day, remember that's the Maypole Day where all things let loose during the days of King Arthur. You never know who ended up with whom. So on our Zoom, we don't know where someone's going to wander off to with somebody else because that's what May Day is about. Okay, so I've gone
costumes and black tie optional.
Yeah, black tie costumes optional. Kirsten, that's right up your alley. All right, now, we got to finish this up.
Yeah, but you want to ask them what is something.
Okay, but yeah.
Okay.
So let me get through these 3 real quickly. Then I want to open it up for ideas. But number 1 area is personal growth. Second area, how can you up level your physical health? So second area, physical health. Maybe you're going to do what Chris and I are doing. Maybe you're going to do yoga online. Maybe you're going to do an aerobics class online. Maybe you're going to find Pilates. Maybe I don't know what you're going to do. Maybe you're going to get out and walk more, because that is something even in California we're allowed to do. But what are you going to do to up level in the next 30 to 90 days your physical health? The second place is community. What are you going to do to up level that community spirit and the community we got your back? So think about this, what we're doing right now. How many of you are just enjoying this? Hopefully, just raise your hand if you really are. If you aren't, please leave.
No.
Just kidding. How many of you are having a little extra smile and a little extra connection because of us being here together? So again, and you know, there's a lot of people that we're not seeing that are probably raising their hands. They just don't have their cameras on. So again, community, not only this way, but offering wellness, wine and wellness. Again, make it fun and funny. You tell people you're having a wine and wellness on X night. They have to bring their own wine. They have to bring their own chocolate, because we're going to be reporting on what the best chocolate is. So everybody's going to taste their chocolate and defend why their chocolate is better than anybody else's on the call. You're going to share a little bit about our immune system and what we can do, and maybe put on some dance music. I don't know, but that is a way to help the community in connection and help community with their immune system all at one time. And there's so many of these going on right now. So check Voxer, check Facebook, see where you can plug into someone else's and get ideas from what they're doing. Maybe you're just going to watch with your wine and your chocolate, or your soda water, or your, what's the other one? I like soda water. Anyway, Kahlua and soda water. It tastes like Coca-Cola, and I don't drink Coca-Cola anymore, so it's kind of cool. Okay, and then the fourth one is your financial health. And that goes back to, what are you going to commit to now that you didn't do before, to either make this plan B bigger and bolder for your future, whether or not that you love what you currently do. Jessie's in school right now. She's looking forward to what's going to happen from her schooling. She's not going to give that up, but Use Plus can be your plan B, and it can grow greater than it is right now. You know, Heidi might give up hairdresser. We don't know that yet for sure. She's kind of, yeah, like that. But right now she's not even able to do it. But some of you may have things that you love and you're not going to totally give up, but you can create this plan B to be able to retire into sooner than later. So again, what are you going to be doing differently? Are you going to connect more? Are you going to create a DMO, which is part of an action plan? And I'm going to tell what the action plan here is in a second. So I'm going to open up this call right now to tell us primarily what you will be doing to create more financial security in your life in the next 30 to 60 days. What are you up-leveling? And what are you seriously committed to doing that in the past, for whatever reason, you didn't have a big enough why, it wasn't important enough, I don't know, but now you are going to make the difference, at least for the next 30 days, when you have time to actually do it. Anybody unmute yourself and let's hear what you're going to be doing differently.
I can share something I just did with a walk around the block this morning. I'm the queen of being big chicken, talking to strangers, and I'm telling you, it's like walking around my neighborhood. People are desperate for connection. So I just stood at the foot of people's driveways, talked about their dogs, and I got two phone numbers from people. I met a neighbor who's recovering from cancer and is terrified of the virus, and I met another. I mean, these are people I've never spoken to, you guys. So I've got two new prospects just by connecting with people in my neighborhood. So that's my commitment.
And Kirsten, I can only think that they are grateful. I imagine when you told her what you had to share with her, she was grateful that you stopped and talked, right? Seriously, grateful. We've had so many. Has anybody else gotten somebody who canceled, or somebody new, or whatever? Heidi, that was grateful that you got back in touch with them. Heidi.
Yeah, I've actually had several. I've got 5 new orders this month. And I had a customer who was a lead from the company, actually. And I reached out to her and just said, hey, you know, I know that you really enjoyed your Juice Plus, but it was a financial struggle for her. And I got a new family health study from that. And just because she really, like now, more than ever, really she understood and really saw the power of it.
Yeah. And did she actually thank you? Was she grateful?
Oh, so grateful. You know, first of all, for the conversation that we had, it was such an amazing, just for her to hear my heart and to hear her, she was desperate, absolutely desperate. She has a son with asthma. So she was really, really grateful for me reaching out, because she'd forgotten.
Do any of you have an experience with someone where somebody has been grateful and you have felt fulfilled by doing a good deed? Patty.
I've been making extra meals. Last night I made this killer pot of soup, and we invited our neighbor over to get some chicken rice vegetable soup, and he was beyond happy. And I too, like Kirsten, has been making conversations with people from a distance in the neighborhood, which has been really cool. And yeah, I'm so excited. Like, I've never been before, you guys, and so I could go on, and I won't until Nikki asks me to.
Okay, that's great, Patty. I want to say that I noticed on Facebook, in the community Facebook that we have in Carpinteria, somebody posted that they were sick. And I don't know, I know her a little bit from Facebook. We've gotten together one time because she's a dog trainer. And, you know, we're not really close, but I texted her back. On Facebook, it looks like everybody knows her. But when she said she was sick, I didn't see anybody message back, do you need anything? And I messaged her back and said, can I bring something? She said, I'm dying for fresh produce. And I went, oh, that's easy. I made her a huge salad with the Tower Garden stuff. And I also had made a killer pot of soup, Patty, and brought her over some soup and left it at her house. She's a dog walker, and she takes dogs in when people are on vacation. Guess what? Nobody's going on vacation. She lost $1,000 this week. She's single. Her dogs and her taking care of dogs are her only form of income. You better believe we had a conversation of what this is possible for her. So anybody else?
Nikki, can I say one thing? Because I've had so much feedback from it. I'm doing the 14-day challenge, not that you need to do that. But one of the things I did was the benefits from working from home. And I have gotten so much interest in that. And it's created a lot of momentum. I have probably 3 new conversations started because of that. So be excited about what you have. You don't have to talk about Juice Plus or the Tower Garden, but the opportunity that you have. And people right now need that hope.
Yeah, that's a great point, Patty. And again, you know, some of you have heard me talk about this before. Reach out to some of the people that you know without an agenda. You know, just your only agenda is connection. And let that be open. If something comes up about fear of the virus, let's say, or, you know, some concern about their health, you know, yes, you're going to say, hey, this is what I do. I'd be happy to send you over some information, especially about the immune system, right? Or maybe it's going to come around to, I wish I had a home business. Man, I wish, you know, so many people have talked to me about a home-based business. I should have been listening. You know, there's an opening. But there's also an opening without the agenda to just start the healing process by being a listener. It doesn't have to go anywhere. It can be, they just need somebody to talk to. And you acknowledge that you see them, you hear them, and you're there for them. That's all. And that's fantastic. Because unprecedented times, extraordinary relationships.
We're going to wrap this up because it's 10:40 now, and I know that some of you would like to stay on and do some phone blitzing and stuff like that. But I love what, I forgot what I was going to say. It was something that Ray Higdon said about, you know, are you open to looking at creating a plan B or something for your future where you've got something else to rely on, and someone says to you who's maybe not grateful, anybody be afraid that this might happen, and they say, I think you're just taking advantage of trying to sell me something right now, your product. I think you're taking advantage of trying to woo me into your thing, and you're just trying to take advantage. If anybody does say that to you, and is there anybody that's a little bit nervous about feeling like you're taking advantage of this time? Number one, the only thing that you're taking advantage is the opportunity to be in service and bring value. If that's the one thing that we can get in your head today, it's the most important thing. How can I be of service? How can I bring value? But if somebody does say something to you that doesn't feel very good, you can really look them in the eye and say, I am so sorry you feel that way. That was not my intention. It sounds like this is not a match for you. No worries. Don't defend yourself. Don't say, oh, I'm just trying to, this is how I feel. Just say, I'm so sorry you feel that way. That was not my intention. Apparently, this is not something that you're open to, and that's okay. No worries. I wish you health and wellness and love, and move on.
Yeah, that's another way of saying come from love and keep the love flowing.
Absolutely.
It's all about keeping the love flowing. We know you're coming from love when you open the conversation, but if somebody has and it doesn't sometimes come out verbally, sometimes it's energetically, it's that, oh, you're trying to sell me something. And that's when you keep the love going to them, but more importantly, the love flows back to you because you know where your heart is and you know why you're doing this.
So any last comments, and then we're going to turn the recording off so we can do our blitzing together. Heidi.
I have a couple of comments. One thing that I found has been working for me is just apologizing up front and just saying, look, I actually thought I wasn't going to reach out, but I realized that wasn't my decision to make because I have no idea what you would decide. And so I'm going to ask you anyway, and whatever the outcome, you know, kind of working from that. But I just want to say how grateful I've never been so grateful in my entire life. My husband's business is falling apart. His job is falling apart. I'm not able to work, and I'm not crying because of that. I'm crying because I've been so grateful to have my immune system be so strong right now with Juice Plus, and also have that little extra income, which isn't little right now. It's huge. I've never been so grateful for what we have, you guys. And if we feel this way, can you imagine what we can do for others and how they could feel? I just feel so blessed and so grateful to you guys for Lloyd meeting you on that wave. I really am.
Thank you, Heidi.
Heidi, thank you so much for sharing.
I'd like to say something too.
Yeah.
You guys just heard Heidi's heart. And so make sure you don't just start sending people clips. You want to connect with them first and ask if they would be open to listening to it. And if you can do that via phone and get permission, check in on people, just let them know that you care and you want to see how they're doing. But don't just start sending them clips just because they're on your list. Make sure you make that connection first and ask permission.
Great.
Good.
Patty,
Thanks,
any other
Patty.
suggestions? Because you have had lots of orders this month and you have brought in a number of people that are seriously looking at what you're doing. Do you have any other verbiage? And I'm going to ask all of you, if you get good results, please post them on our Voxer chat or on Facebook so people can see exactly what you are texting or doing.
You know, I'm just checking in with them personally, so I don't have a lot written down, calling them on the phone and just saying, hey, just wanted to see how you're doing through all this and if there's anything I can do for you. So having that conversation, but I'm calling customers and I'm telling them, you know, I'm making sure that we are doubling up right now. And I also want to make sure you have lots of complete because it's a constant meal. And so just having those conversations really make a difference, but being personal and compassionate and caring, I think is the key.
Okay,
Good job.
Patty, thank you so much. And I know that Chris and I just ordered, not a ton, we didn't hoard, but we ordered a couple extra boxes of Complete just if all else goes to whatever, we got Complete and Juice Plus and we're really well taken care of. So, all
Patty,
right.
I've been doing the same thing and it's been the same kind of response. People are thrilled to hear from you. They're really excited. They're grateful that they're on it, that their immune system's better. And I always tell them I'm super happy to be of service to you. Anything else you need, if you've got loved ones you need me to help be of service to, any way I can help, let me know.
Hey, Linda, I'm going to take a second here. I know we're running long, but I have a story to tell you, and it's a good story to everybody to hear, and I forgot I haven't told you yet. But, you know, we bought this nice house down here last year in Carp, and it's a significant yard. It's a beautiful, it's like waking up to a 5-star resort. And
Without heat.
she said without heat, but that's another story. But so we had to get a gardener, have house cleaners, have the pool guy. So the pool guy comes in about his 3rd week and he said, hey, I saw Juice Plus on your car. He said, do you take that stuff? And I said, Tip, his name is Tip. I said, Tip, Juice Plus provided all of this for us. And his jaw dropped. But anyway, he's a customer of yours. He's been, his wife.
Tammy Woodford.
Yeah, been taking it for years. It says it changed their life. And just wanted to share that story with you, but I think it's good for you all to hear that.
And they love the Tower Garden. They're just on the edge, Linda. So call him up and tell him to get started. He sees this thing growing like crazy.
Oh, awesome. Thank you for that. Yeah, I will. I was just on Facebook with Tammy yesterday because she had posted
Cool. All
something.
right, we're going to stop the recording unless anybody has anyone last anything. Okay.
The only thing I was going to bring up is that we've had several conversations just in the last 3 days about Tower Gardens because of the grocery store situation, and people are so excited about being able to grow their own food and not having to rely on, things that are not there. And so we actually have 3 people, and just got connected this morning with somebody out of Canada. And so they're actually coming by. So Tower Garden is showing people online, like, how to grow, and doing something with Tower Gardens is an incredible way right now. Because right now they're having difficulty getting fresh stuff in.
Yeah.
So
Tomorrow we're gonna show
we'll have a
video.
live tomorrow.
Putting one together.
Great.
Excellent.
Yeah, and Carrie posted that it's going to be a live video, so you guys can check that out on Voxer. She's posted it so anybody can see how to put one together. All right, so you're going to give us a quote, and then we're going to get into our texting for those, or blitz or phoning or whatever, as soon as Chris tells us what he's going to tell us.
Yeah, in unprecedented times, if you just get quiet, something comes in new, or something new comes from within.
All right, everybody, we will let you know when our next one is. Action plans, by the way, action plans. Number 1, go to Turn Up the Heat and watch the Ray Higdon. It's about 15 messages down. It was posted at 6:36 a.m. on Friday. It says Higdon Special Training. It's like 25 minutes long. It is a must if you want to take advantage of what we're talking about. Number 2, action plan. 50 conversations, and I'm not talking cha-ching now, 50 conversations, distributor care, customer care, follow-up, start new conversations. See if you can get 50 conversations between now and the end of the month. And Patty, the other day you posted, like halfway through the day, you'd already had 20 conversations, or 10 in the morning or something ridiculous.
I just posted, I'm up to 30.
All right, she's up to 30 conversations. That's a challenge we're giving you. Just 50 conversations between now and April 30th. Number 3, action game. I've been asking how many want to play the action game starting April 1st. Raise your hand if you want to play the action game. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And those that you don't know what it is, find out from your uplines what it is. It's a way fun way to advance your business through a game. So we're going to probably start an action game April 1st. So be on the lookout for us posting about that. And finally, remember to post your cha-chings, because there's incentive involved with that, some cash incentives. And then finally, and I will be putting all this out on Voxer just so that you know, that the activities, did I write it here? Where did I just write it? Sorry. Yeah, what will you specifically up level? Talk about what you're going to do for your morning. Is it going to be meditate, journal, read, do a miracle morning? Please post on Voxer what you're going to be doing, or Facebook, or both. Copy and post. Number 1, what will you be doing for your physical health differently in the next 30 days that you're not doing, that you're willing to commit to? Number 3, what will you do for the community that you haven't done or are planning on doing? And number 4, what are you going to take on to make a difference in your business? Are you going to create a DMO that will show how you are going to do that and what your time slots are? And if you have a DMO, you don't need to place every person you're every person you're talking to. But if you have a DMO that you like a picture of, take it and show it to us, so other people might say, "Ooh, that DMO, that's one I can use. I like the way it's laid out." Share what you do to create your day, plan your day, your week, your month. I will have all this typed out so you can read it, but that's the action plan for the next 30 days. Okay, thank you everybody. Don't get off if you want to stay on. I'm going to stop the recording.
You're welcome to get off.